Welcome. Today, we're diving into the small words that pack a huge punch in our writing, interjections. You know, all those little words we shout or sigh or whisper, the ones that inject a burst of real human emotion into our text. This is going to be fun, so let's get right into it.
Okay, just look at these two sentences side by side. On the left, you've got, I just spilled water on the floor. It's fine, it's a fact. But then look at the right. Look out, I just spilled water on the floor. Whoa, suddenly there's drama, there's urgency, it's a warning. That one little phrase, look out, totally changes the entire feeling of the sentence.
So what are these powerful little words that give our writing so much personality? Let's break down exactly what an interjection is.
Pretty simple, right? An interjection is just a word or a phrase that expresses an emotion or a feeling. But here's the key. You're going to see these most often in informal situations. I mean, you're probably not going to drop a yikes in the middle of a formal essay, but your text messages and emails, they're probably full of them.
And here are just a handful of the ones we use all the time. Wow, ugh, yikes, hooray, oops, eek, hey, well. Each one carries a completely different emotional weight, from pure joy to total disgust. They are absolutely the spice of our everyday language. So now that we know what they are, how do we use them the right way? Well, it's actually super simple. It all comes down to one single idea. How intense is the feeling you're trying to get across?
Okay, rule number one is for when you've got the emotional volume turned all the way up. If your interjection is expressing a really strong feeling, we're talking big surprise, real fear, major excitement, you slap an exclamation mark right after it.
Like this, eek, watch out for snakes. You can almost hear the panic in that eek, right? That exclamation mark is telling us this is a real, genuine alarm, not just some casual comment.
But what if the feeling is, a little more chill? Well, that brings us right to rule number two. For milder feelings, like a little pause, some hesitation, or just a gentle way to get someone's attention, you use a comma.
For example, well, I guess we'll catch the game next week. See how that well isn't a shout? It's more of a quiet sigh. It's a mild little expression, so the comma's the perfect choice. So that's it. Strong feeling, exclamation mark. Mild feeling, comma. Simple.
All right, we've talked through the theory, but the best way to learn this stuff is to actually do it. So now it's your turn. Let's see if you can add the right punctuation to a few sentences.
We're going to grab a few exercises straight from our source material here. No pressure at all. Just think about the feeling behind the words. You ready? Let's do this.
Okay, first one. Wow, you are going to Hawaii for vacation? So how much emotion is in that wow? Is it just a casual thought, or is it a big burst of excitement? Go ahead and think about it. It's wow with an exclamation mark. I mean, come on. Someone telling you they're going to Hawaii? That's definitely cause for some major excitement. The exclamation mark just nails that feeling.
All right, let's try another one. Hey, do you know what time the bus comes? What's the vibe here? Is this person shouting, hey, across the street? Or just, trying to get someone's attention?
You got it. It's hey, with a comma. In this sentence, hey is just a mild, totally casual way to start a question. There's no big emotion there, so the comma is exactly what we need. Okay, ready for the last one?
All right, here's our final challenge. Oh no, we forgot the poster for our project. Think about that feeling. That sinking feeling in your stomach when you realize you forgot something really important. Is that mild or is that strong?
And the answer is, oh no, with an exclamation mark. Absolutely. That's pure panic and disappointment right there. You could even put another exclamation mark at the very end of the sentence if you really wanted to amp up the drama. You guys did great.
So we figured out what interjections are, we've learned the two super simple rules for punctuating them, and we've even put it into practice. But let's take a step back. Why does any of this actually matter for the way you write every single day?
So let's just recap the big takeaways. First, interjections are how we pour real, honest emotion into our writing. Second, the rules are easy. Exclamation marks for big feelings, commas for small ones. But here's the most important part. Using them the right way is what gives your informal writing, your texts, your DMs, or posts, a clear and personal voice. It's what helps people really hear you on the other side of the screen.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. Just for the rest of today, pay attention to how many times you use words like oh, wow, oops, or ugh. And then try to imagine your texts and emails without any of them.
how flat would they sound? How much of your personality would just disappear? Kind of crazy when you think about it. Thanks so much for joining me.